Having only 300 men left in his army, Gideon was once more beset by doubts. How could he, with so small a force, hope to overcome the vast hordes of the Midianites? Was it not more likely that Israel would suffer a crushing defeat? Now it came to pass that night that the Lord said unto Gideon,
Arise, attack the Midianites, for I have delivered them into thine hands.
Lord, there are only 300 of us, and 135,000 of them.
If thou fear to attack them, then take Phurah thy servant, and go stealthily down into their camp, and afterward thine hands shall be strengthened to attack them.
So Gideon and his servant Phurah, in the depth of the night, crept up to the Midianite camp.
We're almost there, Phurah. Let's move a little to the right.
Wait a minute, sir. I think I see a sentry.
Where?
There, by the tent, sir.
It's a tree stump. Now let's get close. Whoever's inside is still awake. I can hear them talking.
I wish I could get back to sleep. What time do you suppose it is?
11 o'clock, maybe.
I had the oddest dream. I dreamed that a cake of barley tumbled into our camp and rolled up against our general's tent and turned it over so that it fell flat.
Huh.
I wonder what it means.
That cake of barley probably stands for the sword of Gideon, the captain of Israel.
Do you believe in dreams?
Sure.
Well, what does my dream mean?
It means that Israel is going to defeat us. Their God has delivered us into their hands.
You may be right. Everybody I've talked to feels this way. Everybody's afraid of Gideon.
Shh. Did you hear something?
That's your nerves. You're getting jumpy. Better get back to sleep.
When Gideon heard these things, he was overjoyed and returned to his camp full of confidence. After giving thanks to the Lord, he called together his officers and outlined his plan of attack.
God will deliver the Midianites into our hands. Let us divide our forces into 3 companies, each 100 men strong. We'll surround their camp. Each man will carry a trumpet in one hand and a lighted torch concealed in a pitcher in the other. We'll attack in the middle of the watch. Now listen carefully. I shall give the signal.
An hour later, Gideon's men had surrounded the Midianite camp. All is quiet. Everything is dark. Suddenly, a signal shatters the silence. Gideon's men break the pitchers they have with them. The light from hundreds of flaming torches leaps up. A wall of fire flashed around the camp. The Midianites panic. In the confusion, they attack each other. Hundreds are slain. Before long, the Midianites are in full flight, streaming back towards the Jordan with Gideon's army in hot pursuit.
Phurah!
Yes, sir.
Think you can get a message to the tribe of Ephraim?
Sure thing, sir.
Tell them to seize the fort over the Jordan. They can cut off the Midianites' retreat if they act quickly.
I'll get a fresh horse and start right away, sir.
And the soldiers of Ephraim occupied the fords over the Jordan and prevented the Midianites from crossing the river. So the forces of Israel killed 120,000 of the enemy, and 2 kings of the Midianites, Zebah and Zalmunna, were captured and slain. Then the men of Israel said unto Gideon,
Rule over us, both you and your son's son also, for you have delivered us from the hands of Midian.
I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. The Lord shall rule over you.
Thus was Midian subdued before the children of Israel. And the country was in quietness 40 years in the days of Gideon. And Gideon died in a good old age, and was buried in the sepulchre of Joash his father in Ophrah of the Abiezrites,